In his sermon to charity workers last week, Pope Francis called on Catholics to practice their faith and not just speak of theology. In tonight's Teditorial, Teddy Locsin Jr. shares his views on what the Pope calls a crisis of values.
There goes Francis again, making life uneasy for liberal Catholics by robbing them of their sole occupation of defying dogma, instead of practicing Christianity with unquestioning faith in the Catholic Church, now with the renewed Franciscan dogma of preaching Christianity by practice. According to Reuters, Francis said the world is going through a crisis of moral values, which is to say, it is sacrificing morals to commercial values. If we step outside ourselves, said Francis, before 200,000 charity workers, we find poverty. It breaks my heart to say it, but finding a homeless person who has died of cold is not news. News is only scandals, or here in the Philippines, the romantic lives of the unappealing, which is Baduy. That many children do not have food, that is not news. The crowd interrupted him with applause, but he was preaching to a choir of practicing Christians. He should have addressed the World Bank, IMF, and its agents in the Italian government. Francis said we cannot be starched Christians, talking theology over tea, or, in our case, berating the church with no danger of being burned alive for it, which is a pity. Said Francis, we must be courageous Christians, seeking out the needy, not waiting for them to come to us. He knows the work is challenging and frustrating. It is long and exhausting. He confessed to falling asleep at prayers, but God, he said, understands and forgives. If banks fail, the media treat it as tragedy. But if people die of hunger, if they have nothing to eat, or suffer from poor health, that is not news, that is nothing. This is the crisis of a church that is for the poor and made for the poor. He called for a fight against what he called the dictatorship of the economy, a dictatorship extending over media, over government policy, over the dying conscience of society, a society that cannot imagine life without capitalism, in front of a church that has seen it all come and go. Slavery and imperialism, anarchy and feudalism, monarchy and revolution, the satanic mills of capitalism, the death camps of fascism and communism, the US-sponsored death squads of United Fruit who murdered Romero. Francis is saying it is not necessary to burn the village to save it as in Vietnam, or ruin the common people to save a banker's economy. Okay, maybe burn a couple of banks to warm the chilling hands of the poor. The German Chancellor responded by calling for stronger anti-capitalist regulation of financial markets. Keep well.